But for now, let's hack back and also we look at the situation on the ground. We had this particular editorial cartoon by Victor in the Star, if I may walk over there so that I can just show you what it says, because this is in tandem with what we're discussing, and food security is very pertinent right now. We know, as Professor Noah Midamba always say, the next war is a war about resources. Mm-hmm. It's not about or the politicking of resources. And this is what that has been drawn by Victor. Professor, when you look at this, and the preeminence that we're giving to voter registration and election in light of people who are dying, do we have our priority mixed up? Are our priorities mixed up?
We have it upside down, Debarl. I think last week Apollo indicated that elephant march into people's homes,
yes,
and kill them. Snakes are coming looking for water. People are dying as we are sitting down here. People are dying as these politicians are busy organizing and sowing their wares with expensive helicopters and vehicles and everything else. Mm-hmm. And so you really begin to wonder where is the hearts and minds of these people? Where's the national priority? And how can Kenyans continue to accept this kind of behavior? While there are quite a number of Kenyans like Amina Mohammed and and the rest that can lead this country, we need to be serious. And the only way that we can do it is each of the voters to force these people to face the kind of calamity that we are facing in the future in terms of development.
Right, thank you.
That's what is
right. Dr. Abdiwahab.
You know, agriculture is the engine of the economic growth in Kenya. And also agriculture is a valuable source of income for many Kenyans. 20% of the total land mass of Kenya is arable land. There is no way we can be in hunger. I have been in Israel, 1997, 1999. That country is a microscopic state. And 1% of the population are engaged in agriculture. And they produce more than what the country is required. So the problem is, where problem lies, we don't have a vision to develop our agriculture sector. If we can have a comprehensive policy whereby we're going to eradicate the poverty, food security for this country, nothing can stop us. But we need to put in place a vision. Look here, I have been in Beersheba, southern part of Israel. It's a small country, small town. And they put greenhouses in the middle of the desert. And they produce what, almost, let's say, 35% total agriculture of Israel. And that you cannot in fact compare, for instance, Wajir County. Israel is a 20,000 kilometers square. From north to south, it's 470 kilometers. From east to west, 135 kilometers. Wajir, you cannot compare to Wajir. Wajir is bigger than Burundi and Rwanda combined. And in fact, that small country is sufficient food for the population of Israel, which is 7.5 million, and in the entire region. So what I'm saying is, what happened? We don't have a leader who has a vision for the society. We don't have a leader who can eradicate the poverty easily. In Wajir, for instance, Wajir County, for instance, which is bigger than Burundi, it's almost 55 kilometers square. It's enough even to feed the rest of Kenyans. The question is, we have technology, we have the skilled manpowers, we have everything. What we are lacking is a commitment from the leaders.
Thank you.
What we are lacking is
a commitment from the leaders, yes. Right, allow me not to take your views on this so that we can actually make headway. But of course, looking at what we just also aired with the arms, military equipment from USA and Obama's, so to speak, the last gift to Kenya. What do you make of that?
Yeah, very fast. But let me try it just with this one briefly.
Can you just go to the arms? Because we're really stuck for time.
Okay, in the interest of time. Anyway, the arms deals, of course, are strategic. They give us a strategic advantage in many ways. We're in the middle of fighting, violent extremism and terrorism in our region. And this is a plus, and so on. And what is very important is that each time we procure some of these, what we call them assets, they are fully serviceable and they're sustainable. So that you also don't get what someone says, I don't need this, and then sell it to you as second hand and something like that. So that is very important. And I think if you read my chapter, my book, my chapter in a book, I call it Appeasing Old Lovers While Courting New Friends, Kenya's relationship with the US and other bigger powers. So Kenya has had a very good relationship with the US.
Yes.
And I think that is going to go on for a long time. And President Obama has done his part. And matters of statecraft are not personalized. And therefore, matters of statecraft will take shape as we go on into the Trump administration.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Captain, I think this is within your remit. If you may just show us those particular equipment that they've come so far. What do you make about this particular gesture from Barack Obama, knowing and really cutting it close? You know, when he's just about to leave is when we have this particular gift before the transition to, you know, the next presidency. That is Donald Trump's presidency.
That is quite important, Debarl, for Kenya. For one, Kenya, of course, has been in the forefront in the fight against violent extremism and terrorism.
Yes, yes.
We don't need to emphasize that one of the reasons why we had serious issues and we suffered a lot of casualties in the one attack in El Ade in Somalia was what was said to have the incapacity of the AMISOM forces to respond using air combat. So what the Obama administration has done as a gift to Kenya is simply increased our combat capability in terms of aerial defense. And that gives us, of course, a strategic advantage in the region.
Yes.
There is also something else some Kenyans need to realize, and this is why it is important for us, that we are now getting into serious oil exploration.
Yes.
And that means we are going to have we are going to start exploiting our natural resources. We have seen what has happened in countries that are oil producing in Africa. There's always interest by global competition between upstream and downstream companies, multinationals involved in the oil sector. And they have really sometimes interfered with the stability of those countries. If you want to put good things in your house, the first thing you do is secure the perimeter by having a very good fence, making sure that your windows and doors are well secure.
Yes.
So there is no better way now that we are getting into the oil economy by securing our borders, both from the sea, from the air, and from land. And that, of course, gives us an advantage in terms of defending our interests in the region.
Thank you.
Yes.
Dr. Apollos Machira.
I am, the whole of this week, I have been at the Laikipia Air Base with the officers. I'm training them on international humanitarian law.
Yes.
They call these aircrafts air tractors. They are very, very good when they go to war.
These ones?
Yeah, they are air tractors. I don't know why they are called tractors.
Air tractors.
Yeah, but they are very effective, and the military appears to be very, very happy with this, with this gift from Obama. I think the last day of Obama, someone, I think his grandmother reminded him that he had promised when he was here that he's going to assist us address the issue of terrorism. And he knew that Trump will not remember. So he gave us this. So all that I hope is Senate and Congress is going to approve. I hope they are not going to be influenced by Donald Trump. So that when Obama comes home, he will not be worried about terrorism when he comes to visit his grandmother. So I think this is a very good gesture from President Obama. And the military are actually the most beneficiary if this money comes and it is used properly, because the aircrafts and the money, I hope it will be used properly by the Minister of Defense.
Thank you. Right. Allow us to take a call of Sanging on the line. We have Madenge calling from Mombasa. Good morning, Madenge.
Good morning, habari ya asubuhi.
Nzuri sana.
Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuzungumzia mambo ya IBC.
Mambo ya?
IBC.
Yeah, endelea tu.
Nilikuwa nataka kuzungumza. unajua hakuna kitu kitaweza kutusaidia katika hii uchaguzi wa 2017. Mtu ambaye anaweza kutusaidia ni Chebukati na komishoni yake.
Aha.
Na hakuna siku hii komishoni ya uchaguzi katika Kenya hii tangu tuanze kupiga kura, hakuna siku imefanikiwa. Kila siku huwa ni vurugu, watu kuuawa, watu kila siku. Wacha safari hii tuone kama sisi pia wa Kenya tunaweza kufanya uchaguzi ambao nchi zingine zinafanya.
Thank you.
Hakuna mtu anaingia kwa barabara, kuna kwa sababu tangu wakati wa Moi hakuna siku hizi komishoni zimefanikiwa mpaka leo.
Thank you, Madenge from Mombasa. Of course, we are past that junction, but of course we can also let's take our comments from our viewers as well. Just let's close on that,
Yes.
Professor, just very briefly.
Yeah, I wanted just to say that Kenya, during Obama administration at the end, is getting the largest share of American goods. Second largest, only on the first one is Egypt, followed by Kenya. That's not by coincidence. And Obama was very sensitive at the time he's leaving the office,
yes,
as to what is coming afterwards, which is Trump threatening to cut those billions of dollars,
yes,
that Kenya and the rest of Africa are going. And that is leaving us seriously vulnerable in the case of Somalia. We have no better options of Somalia. Kenya engaging broadly in Somalia in a very continuous hostile environment without the Americans' active role, which has strategically brought down Somalia, this Al-Shabaab group fighting for, and also they're using special app which has assisted the 22,000 member in Somalia. When all that is withdrawn, we are left with very, very limited option. One is to continue engage in that hostile environment, or withdraw and let Somalia collapse back to where it was, which is going to be very serious for the porous border in Kenya.
Right,
and so this support is going to assist, at least from the air, for us to take down as they're approaching the Kenya border and also attacking us.
Thank you.